we are Globe Guide. We're a international company that schedules tours. The specific tour is in Copenhagen, Denmark, which I'll have Melanie kind of overcap for us.
So it's actually a 9-day tour, not a 7-day tour. That's a typo. It's a fabulous 9-day tour visiting Denmark's capital city of Copenhagen. And there's lots of places that we're going to visit, but some of the main ones are the Tivoli Botanical Gardens, the Copenhagen Zoo and Aquarium, the Round Tower, and then there's a whole lot more that we're going to do. There's at least 1 or 2 things each day. There's going to be pretty fancy dining. It's going to be nice. And then it's really beautiful in Copenhagen. There's so, as you can see by the picture, the lights will reflect off the water, and it's just really beautiful. And along with the culture, we'll provide you with a wonderful trip and many memories.
So on the first day, it's just arriving and checking in, just relaxing, getting used to the area. You can go out and outside your hotel and check out things a little bit. And the next day is the first real day, so we're going to be going to the Tivoli Gardens that day, which have an amusement park in it if you're interested in that kind of thing. If not, there's just the beautiful gardens to look around. Then after that, we're going to go have lunch and then go to the art museum. And it's one of the biggest art museums there. And after that, we have the National Museum. So we kind of mixed up the days a little bit. On the third day, it's going to be going to the Carlsberg Glyptotek, which is the big art museum. And we also have the National Museum, which is more of the history of Denmark and things like that. And after that, we go to the National Aquarium, which is like one of the biggest attractions in Denmark. It's a huge aquarium, and it's pretty cool. It's kind of interactive a little bit. And for the fourth day, it's going to be going to the Round Tower, which is a little observatory kind of downtown. It's kind of in a weird area. Can't really recognize it, but it's a cool little observatory. And then after that, we're going to be heading to Aarhus, which is completely across on the other side of Denmark, but Denmark's pretty small, so it only takes about 4 hours to get there. And then once we get to Aarhus, we're going to just stay there for the night, kind of look around that area a little bit. And the next day, we're going to go to the Aarhus Art Museum, which is another big attraction over there. And then after that, they have a little concert hall over there. We'll go attend a concert there. And then just relax the rest of your night over there where you can look around Aarhus. And then after that, we're going to have breakfast. They have a little science museum, which is the Steno Museum. And you go look around there a little bit in the morning. And then afterward, we're going to get ready and then head back to Copenhagen for another 4-hour drive. And then after that, we have breakfast. And then that day, we have this thing called the Grand Day Trip, which is a whole trip taking you all around Copenhagen and that area, Denmark. Pretty much includes any attractions over in that area that we haven't covered already. And lunch is included with that trip. Then after that, we'll have dinner, and then the next day is going to be our departure day.
So this goes over a little bit more specific, the attraction sites that we're going to be hosting. Since all of our attractions are generally closed, the longest drive time that you would have to incur is only 4 hours. So getting some sort of housing or hotels around that area would be relatively easy. But as far as the attractions go, these are the lists of the most popular and the ones that we were hosting that could get you a better deal than some of our competitors. The Copenhagen Zoo, it's one of the largest zoos in that northern European area. It features tons of animals that are native to that area, so it's an incredibly different type of environment going from normal zoos in the United States. The National Aquarium, like Austin said, it's humongous. You can actually go into a tunnel that goes under like a water feature. And it's a full glass tunnel that goes, and there's tons of creatures that will just swim around you. The National Museum, so since it is European, you're going to feature buildings that are been there for decades and centuries. So it's a great culture to be introduced in. The Aros, the art museum, most of it's outdoors. There is some indoors. It's more statues and figures, more native to the European culture. And then you have the Round Towers, which is this top middle picture in here. It's just another cultural thing going into the European aspect of medieval structure it's more like a theme park kind of, like Eelges. They have different rides, as well as the regular cultural aspects where they incorporate stream rides and different towers that you can visit, different markets that you can go buy some exclusive electronics.
Okay, so next is going to be your flight details, and you're going to want to arrive early so you can have time to prepare and do all the necessary things. So we recommend that you arrive around 1 p.m. and do all of your things, and then your flight will depart at 4:25, and your destination will be Reykjavik, and you will arrive there at 6:35 a.m. and you'll have a layover that will be in between there, and that will begin at will end at 1:20, and then you'll get back on the plane and arrive at 5:55 p.m. or wait, no, at 12 p.m. And the total airfare is going to be $891, and your hotel is going to be around $2,000. The transportation fee is going to be about $195. Your dining will be $550 per person, and all the miscellaneous fees that you may or may not spend will be about $300 that we recommend that you set aside as well. And your total cost, which brings your total cost to $4,051. And then here's the breakdown on the Excel sheet.
Alright, then scroll back that way a little bit. Alright, so since it is technically a 9-day, we have the first day, which is just going to be the flight and getting on DIA and getting over to Iceland and then to Copenhagen. Since we have the little time change there, it's going to make it seem a lot longer, but the flight isn't actually going to be like a whole 2 or 1.5 days. So, but once you get to Copenhagen, then you can just check in your hotel and go on there. And the second day, and out to get the Tivoli Gardens, so you have a full morning of that. And after that, after you have lunch, we'll go to the zoo and spend the rest of the day doing that. And the third day, we're going to be at the Art Museum and the National Museum and kind of crunch those two together in the morning just so you can get both of those in. And after that, we have a whole afternoon for the National Aquarium. And then after that, we'll just have dinner, a little relaxing time, and then you can just get ready for the next day. The next day, we're going to have the Grand Tower and then have a little bit of a bigger lunch area so you can have time to get ready to travel to Aarhus. After that, we're just going to have that drive there and check in your hotel and get ready out there. And then after that, it's going to be hanging out at the museum. You can check out the concert hall a little bit in the morning and put that in there just so you can get used to the area a little bit before lunch. And after that, we have a free time because the concert doesn't start till around 5. So we'll get there, hang around a little bit, and then go to the concert. And after that, the next day, we're going to wake up and go to the Science Museum before lunch. And after that, just prepare to drive back to Copenhagen, then drive back to Copenhagen. And then last day of the actual tour is just going to be the whole grand day trip, and that pretty much takes up the whole day. You have a little free time before lunch or dinner on there, and then after that, just going to bed and packing and getting ready to leave the next day.
So, the cost breakdown, I have all the stuff for the attractions, since I kind of had the total cost in the brochure. So, it has everything that is or how much is gonna be for each attraction, and then with the refer a friend discount, and also the admission tax. And then here's a chart of how much each attraction costs. So day 3, we've got Tivoli Gardens and the zoo. Day 4, we have the Art Museum, the National Museum, and the National Aquarium. Day 5 is the Round Tower. Day 6 is the concert and the Art Museum. The Art Museum is free admission along with the National Museum. Then the Science Museum, and then the Grand Day Trip. So that's all of those charts.
And this is the conversion chart that Denmark you're going to get much more on the dollar than compared to Argentina's peso or India's rupee or Japan's yen, as you can tell by the bar graph. So as compared to India, you'd only get 0.2 cents, as in compared to the krone in Denmark, you'd get 18 cents on the dollar. So it's a much better